the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
Hell yeah. High
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. I am your Super Bowl loser co-host, Jalen Brown.
I am your one of the 2 Super Bowl winners. The one you love to hate, because I'm always right, and I was right about this game, Malin Dennis.
I'm your other great co-host, Lester.
Rolling out of the 2-5-3, champagne dreams and Super Bowl rings. It is home of your Super Bowl 60 championship winner, Seattle Seahawks, G Money.
What was that bar again, Money? You said champagne. What was that?
And dreams and Super Bowl rings.
Sounds like a Drake line.
He's drinking champagne right now, too, in case you didn't know.
Is. All right. Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. What was the final score here?
29-13.
Thank you, G Money. 29-13 final score. Yeah, Seahawks get it done in a pretty defensive stalemate up until the fourth quarter-ish. I really have nothing to say here. I'm not going to lie. Malin, G Money, you guys can take it away.
It was. Okay, it was indeed a defensive game. I got to give props to New England. Having watched them in the playoffs, I knew their defense was good, but I just didn't know how good was it. You know, when you're playing a fully, for all purposes, a fully healthy offense, and they shut us down. I mean, it wasn't until the fourth quarter where both teams actually started to score any points whatsoever. New England, yeah, next year, right? Next year. Drake May will be in his 3rd year. He'll have learned, hopefully. You hope that he learns that you can't turn the ball over in a championship game, because when you're playing a defense like the Seahawks, they will score. They will take that turnover, and if the defense doesn't score with it, the offense will. And that's what happened. And you didn't see that when he turned the ball over against Denver, when he turned the ball over against Houston, when he turned the ball over against I want to say San Diego, but I know it's LA, against the Chargers. They didn't score. Unfortunately, when he turned it over against us, we scored. And that's the sign of a really good team, is that when you get a turnover, you can score off of that turnover. The Seattle defense is just fucking crazy. I would want to say they're even better than Legion of Boom. It's, what can you say? I mean, Drake May didn't get most of his passing yards till the fourth quarter, and then it was like towards the middle of the fourth quarter when he started getting passing yards because they were playing prevent defense, which, by the way, I hate. And I kept thinking, man, if I could just transport onto the field there, I would punch fucking Mike McDonald in his face for playing prevent defense, because prevent doesn't prevent a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
But we won the Super Bowl. And this Super Bowl is different than other Super Bowls. It's not the same as Bowl 49 that we lost to Tom Brady. Different group of players, different. The whole thing is different. Will we be back there next year? I don't know, because every season is independent from the previous season, and we have free agents. So I don't know, but I do know that we are Super Bowl 60 champions. Right now, that's all that counts. So cheers to everybody.
Go ahead, Malin.
I just I'll echo what G Money said, that I was really impressed with the speed of the Patriots defense. There was a lot that would happen throughout the last couple weeks where people would talk about, well, the Patriots defense is so great because we held these offenses to 8 points a game in the playoffs. But then when you would talk about why the Patriots offense hadn't scored a lot of points in the playoffs, they would be like, well, because of the weather. Oh, it was Walker. And Kenneth Walker got MVP. I thought it was going to be the kicker, to be honest with you. But so like, just because of the way that the playoffs unfolded for the Patriots, the weather being a factor, backup quarterback, in the AFC Championship game, like I didn't really know what to think of that defense. How good were they? Were they a product of the teams they've played, the conditions they played in? But they really showed up, man. And I was getting nervous. That first drive where we scored that first 3 points, 2 of those passes could have been picked off. Like they were fast. I just think that at the end of the day, if you want to go down to like where you win or lose it, the stage was too big for Drake May today. He's played really good defenses before, but when things started not to go his way, he looked more rattled. And he looked more frustrated. And not to coin anything out of the Patriots, Jalen, but it looked like he was the one out there seeing ghosts instead of Sam Darnold in this game. Sam Darnold played a clean game. Everyone kept thinking Sam Darnold's going to turn the ball over, and that's why the Patriots are going to win the game. And they were forgetting about all the turnovers that May had in the playoffs already. And I was like, okay, so the quarterback that had 5 turnovers had 3. And the quarterback that hadn't turned the ball over didn't turn the ball over. So feels good. Feels real good. It's not going to feel good in my bank account. Not going to feel good to the bank account at all.
Feels good in my bank account, that's for certain.
Oh, well, no, yeah, okay. I'm not counting the bets. Yes, it feels really good on the bets. I was talking about what this total is going to be on lids.com here in about an hour. That's going to hit. So it's a good thing I made bets.
Go ahead, Nestor.
Yeah, the Patriots defense did a lot better than I expected them to. Not that I didn't think they were great, but they kept Seattle. I think it was 4-16 on third down. They kept Jason down to like 20 something yards. They were crazy good, man, crazy fast. They really didn't let Kenneth Walker do much. Throughout the first half of the game, there was a lot of clean, good football played. Right before, the commentator said this might be the first half of a Super Bowl where there's no flags, and right there was a flag on the Patriots defense.
And then
crazy.
in the fourth quarter, Collinsworth blurted out, "No one's ever been shut out. Shut the fuck up, Collinsworth."
I can't stand him.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Punch him in his donkey ass fucking face.
And I was talking to Jalen about this before we started. Like, I don't know how much I just want to point at the O line for Drake May, like, because I mean, I know Witherspoon was fast, man. The way he got to Drake May on one of those plays, and then Derek Hall, like they were just ripping through that O line. But I don't know, they didn't look too good. I don't know what Jalen thinks completely, but about that, but that O line just did not look sharp.
Jalen, I gotta ask you, man. Like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Because before like the game started, like, yes, I was, that nervous confidence you have. Like, you're confident your team could win, but then you're nervous because any given Sunday, and there wasn't a part of me that wanted to get on this podcast if we lost and have to talk about the game like right afterwards.
I
Like,
I
how are
did
you
not.
processing?
I did not want to get on here. I'm not gonna lie. If it was up to me, I'd be like, I'll see y'all on Wednesday. But my blood has been boiling for the last like hour, for an array of different reasons. But Will Campbell, Jesus Christ, man, that dude. I guess it makes sense that our past, like our most recent rookies, number one draft picks, or our number one draft picks for the past 2 years, they looked like rookies. Him and Drake May both looked like dudes where the moment was just too big for them. Drake May in a bit of a different way. But Will Campbell just got embarrassed on the biggest stage. It's like, I wanted to be done with him by the end of the first quarter. I wanted to be done with him. I'm like, he's a rookie. It's his Super Bowl. I can't get too we shouldn't eject him into the sun just yet. But man, I was just really upset with his lack of anything. It was like the moment Drake May got the ball, it was just 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi hit. And that was that. I will give the Seattle defense their credit. And you know who else I'll give credit? The LA Rams. I don't know how the fuck y'all put up as many points as you did, because that defense is ridiculous. It's just like they're all over the place. They're all over. It's like a hive of bees. The moment you look anywhere, there's another one, and they're just hitting everybody. So I can't get too upset at Drake May for what he did. Like, the turnovers didn't come until late, when it was like he was just pressing at that point. So I didn't really care about those then. But that first half was just like, I'm like, I don't really know what else you could scheme up on offense, because it was just like, unless you have TB12 out there, and even him, I don't know what you do at that point.
You know what we can both, all four of us collectively go like, what the fuck is going on? Don't we pay people millions of dollars to catch fucking football?
Yeah.
On both sides?
Yep.
On both sides. How many times did we see the ball bounce off of Seattle wide receivers' hands, bounce off of New England's players' hands? Like, no, what?
I don't know if it was like a matter of, were they all just afraid to get hit kind of thing? Like, they all just heard footsteps coming, and it was just like, I'm not catching this fucking ball. But literally from the jump with both offensive sets, it was like, I can recall Hunter Henry, the moment the ball touched his hands, it almost went the other way. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then from there, I'm like, this is not going to end well. But who would have thunk that pretty much none of their wide receivers on the field really had a game to remember at all?
Yes, and then, I think that Cooper Kupp actually played a pretty solid game.
Apart from that ball, he let just fall out of his hands, kind of touched him. Perfect.
Garner had a good game. I blocking, receiving. He had a good game, and Cooper Kupp had a okay game. But once again, there are key moments where where the ball went off his hands, and you're like, man, make the catch.
Shout out to Chris in the chat. Congrats to you, sir, for a huge win. Huge win. Yeah, K9 gets Super Bowl MVP. I think it's well deserved. Like you said, unless it was gonna be Myers, like, I don't really know who else. It seemed like it would be one of the two, which would have been crazy if they gave it to Myers. So, like, not that he wouldn't have deserved it. It's just,
it would have been wild, but he did set an NFL record. That's why I thought it might have been him.
Yeah.
He set an NFL record, 5-0.
Wow.
field goals.
But I mean, they could have gone defense, given it to D Hall. You know, he had 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, Nuoso. You know, I mean,
Interception for a touchdown. That was crazy, by the way.
yeah, it was.
Right in the chest. He's like trying to sack the quarterback, and the next thing he knows, he's like, "I'm hugging pigskin. Let me run for a touchdown." That was a wild play.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna get into like future next year, all that kind of stuff, because we'll have 6 months to talk about future and what that's gonna look like. I just want to let you guys enjoy it, because damn, these moments, as y'all know, they're far and few in between. So
They do not come often. In fact, it's the second time in my life that I've been able to experience this. I've experienced 2 other losses. One a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
It always feels, and I think you can attest to this, Jalen, because you've been to a million Super Bowls. It feels different when the last Super Bowl you went to, you won. You know what I mean? Like if your last Super Bowl was the one where you lost to the Eagles, you know what I mean? And then you're coming this long, like it would have, but because you won your last one, you're like, well, you know, like, hey, we've lost a couple, but we won our last one. Feel going out on a high note. This is great. When we had the Legion of Boom, we won Super Bowl 48 convincing fashion. We go back to the Super Bowl, but then you lose in a heartbreaking fashion. It's like you never really had the time to really enjoy and be able to, like, yeah, man, like celebrate Super Bowl 48 because 12 months later you lost Super Bowl 49. So it feels good to be there again. I've never experienced this with the Sonics, but I have experienced it with the Celtics. Never with my Mariners, so that's sad. But it does feel good. It feels good.
I definitely have experienced it with the Sonics because I'm old. But I also experienced the first loss with the Sonics when we lost to Washington, and then we came back the next year, played them, and beat them. So yeah, you know, it's the fact that both our teams made it to the Super Bowl, and neither one was expected to do that. You know, if you were to ask, now I guarantee you the head coach would say, yeah, our goal is to go to the Super Bowl and win it. But realistically, they would have said, our goals are to get better, win games, and see where we're at. Because, you know, New England did a lot of free agent sign-ins. They had rookies. And by the way, drafting Gonzalez out of Oregon 3 years ago, that was a damn good pick. Well, actually,
shit, man, that game would have been a.
He showed up this game.
Yes.
He showed up, and if he can stay healthy, guy's got one shutdown corner there. One, you know. But no, I don't think either one, realistically, if they were talking off the record, would have said, "Yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl and we're going to win it." They would have looked at their teams and said, "We're going to get better. Our goal is to get better this year, and then next year make our run." You know, but they're both ahead of schedule, and hopefully they can stay like that. You know, they can get better. New England's going to have a tougher schedule next year, but still, hopefully Drake May learns. Will Campbell, I don't know. I said this during the playoffs that he was the weak link on the O-line because they were pushing him back. The Chargers did it, Houston did it, Denver did it at times, and it was like that's the weak point on the O-line. I mean, the true weak link. If you crush his side, that's it. He needs to get better quick. He needs to get really good. Otherwise, he's going to find himself like Jonah Williams did, moving to the right side, and then since not picking up his fifth-year option, letting him go to free agency and bouncing around the league for a few years.
Jalen, can I ask you one question before we get out of here?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Drake May in the playoffs? I mean, the stat line in the Super Bowl is going to say he threw for almost 300 yards because
Right.
of the last two drives, right? Where we went in the prevent or whatever. But what happened to him? He lost the MVP by one vote, but in the playoffs, he never looked right.
I really
what
think
happened?
it is the set of defenses that he went up against. I mean, that was a pretty tough slew of teams to go through. That literally, when I was walking away from this one, I was like, yeah, I see why Matt Stafford won MVP. Not because of what Drake May didn't do tonight, but more so of what Matt Stafford was able to do playing this defense 3 times this year. That was like, yeah, he deserved that, hands down. Because I don't know how anybody can do anything against his defense. And
He was one of the only couple that was able to crack the code. The Bucks somehow cracked the code on us. I'll never understand.
Yeah, but that was
that
early
was
in the
September.
season,
That
though,
was September.
too.
Yeah.
I know, but still, there's only been a few teams that put up that many points that like the Rams were able to put up on us this year. And they did it twice. Somehow the Bucks were able to figure it out. But I don't know. I still think Drake May is going to be a great QB.
He went their gauntlet. There's Texans, Broncos, and Seattle, right?
Yeah.
LA first.
A lot.
But it was just like it literally just was a steady ramp of how difficult the defenses were. So I was like, I'm not worried about him going forward. I think he will be great. It's a way to cut your teeth in the playoffs. Jesus.
Well, I will say this though, that a recipe for success is not Drake May being your leading rusher.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Works in spots,
37 yards
but not
with 5 carries. That's not going to get it done. And I'll also say before we get out of here, I will be tuning in tomorrow, and I hope the rest of America will, to FS1 at 3:00 Eastern, 12:00 Pacific, because I want to see what Kevin Wildes has to say and what's going to happen to his doorstep of destiny that he's been having going on. That motherfucker been real confident for 2 weeks.
For
talking about
3
going
months.
Well, no, against the Seahawks specifically, he was talking how Drake May was going to blow out the Seahawks.
Oh, Lord.
How they were going to win by a couple touchdowns. How they were gonna figure it out, and I was like, okay, all right, Kevin. I want to see Kevin tomorrow. Let's see what Kevin has to say. But Jalen, at the end of the day, man, this is one thing I hate about sports. Like I know I'm an asshole because I'm like over here celebrating. We just won the Super Bowl. You just lost. I know how I would feel if we lost. When we started this show, we never thought we'd be in this situation where where both of our favorite teams were in the Super Bowl and someone was going to be walking away a loser. Like I don't know. I just never envisioned that happening.
Yeah.
So hopefully it never happens again. Unless the Seahawks play the Dolphins and we beat the shit out of them. or you play the Cowboys and you beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Both
Our road
seem
starts
like a snowball's chance in hell, but look where we are now.
Our road to Super Bowl starts next season.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow, right?
Yes, it does.
Starts tomorrow.
Hey, if there's any teams that I thought like a few years ago that were building quite well, it was Seahawks and Patriots. I wish I could find the episodes where I said that, but they were building well. Honestly. And I always, I just think Patriots are just, maybe a couple of players off from actually getting a Super Bowl. Because Drake May, I'm just looking at an article right now. They're talking about how Drake May really didn't find that wide receiver to pass to that could make that play. And honestly, get Diggs out of there because he's a drama queen. He's a liability. The third quarter, he's already fighting somebody. Get that man out.
If I would like to keep him around, I thought he was a great add to the team this year. So long as he keeps up what he did this year, I have please stay.
He's a good addition. Nestor, I will say early on in the season, you have been giving Seattle credit. You've been giving them their flowers. You were talking about JSN earlier in the year. You were one of the first ones besides G Money and I talking about Seattle's defense. How much you liked how fast they were and like flying around the ball. Like you did do that. I'm not sure that any of us last year were talking about how well the Patriots were building anything. And that's what's really amazing about what the Patriots have done is that, a record 30 new players to your starting roster. Out of your 53-man roster, you got 30 new players. And you had a 14 win difference from one year to the next. I think that's another NFL record in a year. You went from 4 wins to 17, so I guess I can't count because that's 13. Whatever. But the turnaround that Mike Vrabel made with the Patriots, like, do you understand, Jalen, how many Buffalo fans
Oh my God.
drinking a 24 pack
Yes.
of like Bush beer right now? Because they're like, we thought we had the whole rest of Josh Allen to run this division.
For the rest
And
of
now
the
you got the Patriots right back in the saddle, and you're like, well, fuck, but we got Josh Allen. And Drake May is like, hey, bitch, been to a Super Bowl already. And I know we got to get out of here, Jalen, because I know that you don't really want to be on this show right now.
We're good. Go ahead.
But I do want to say, let's talk about Sam Darnold for a minute.
I was about to bring him up.
Just for a minute. You're talking about the first quarterback from that class. Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold has to spend 5 years between the Jets and the Panthers. And then he has to sit behind Brock Purdy's broke ass. And then he goes to Minnesota. And then they decide that J.J. McCarthy is better than him. So then he goes to Seattle. Kudos to this man to just keep believing in himself, turning around, getting the job done, winning a Super Bowl before all those others. And what it really makes me think of is how many other quarterbacks would have had a Sam Darnold story had the NFL not given up on them as quickly as they did. And it also really proves how important it is to go to what franchise you go to. Like, damn, Jets. The Jets are just quarterback killers. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking barn with cows, and they put that thing up the cow's head, shoot him in the head, and make steak out of him and mince meat. That's what the Jets do to quarterbacks. Sam Darnold escaped. He's fucking lucky. Justin Fields is still there. He's about to fucking die. It's insane how they ruin careers. So it makes me a little bit nervous about Mendoza, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because he's going to the Raiders, and they don't have a great history with that. But kudos to Sam Darnold. It doesn't matter what it like it no longer matters what happened in the beginning of his career, and it really doesn't matter what happens the rest of his career. He has won more games in 2 years than anybody else ever has. He's won 2 14-win teams with 2 different teams. He's won a Super Bowl. He's he's done things that only Tom Brady has ever done. Like he is resurrected his career. All the ghosts. New England fans can stop with the he's going to see ghost. I saw that for 2 weeks. That was ridiculous. Um, but
He saw no ghosts, but he also but their defense was so good that he wasn't making connections either. I mean, yeah, we won the Super Bowl, but what was his stat line? I mean, it wasn't
he
that
didn't have
good.
to do anything.
Well, he said
it
he said
was-
weeks before that that defense was like a security blanket for him. So
he did
it's-
what he needed to.
Right.
And you
Right.
know what? Kubiak also did exactly what he wanted to do. And this was something else that I heard from someone that's a beat writer for the Seattle Times. His name is Greg Bell. He used to be with the Tacoma News Tribune. He has sat down with Kubiak a lot over the year. And Kubiak said that he has, knowing the defense that Seattle has, he has 2 game plans every time they get the ball. And that is game scheming to get to the 50. And then if I can get to the 50, scheming to get the touchdown. Because he knew that Seattle's defense was so good that if he can get to the 45 or 50, he's keeping the field position, and not many teams this year were able to drive 80, 90 yards, 75 yards for touchdowns multiple times against Seattle. When teams were scoring touchdowns on us, it was because Sam Darnold was turning the ball over. They were getting short fields. And so his plan of attack every time was, let me flip the field, and then let's go score some points. And he did that kind of a master class, and especially in the second half, not the first half. The first half, we were pinned deep, Jalen. Every time we were starting at the 10, and you guys were starting at the 35 or the 40, I was getting pissed. I was like, this is not how I want this shit to go. But the second half is when that really started to kind of translate where New England was starting, further back from the 20 or whatnot. And now Kubiak's going to be the head coach of the Raiders. So that's great. Whatever. Tackle that another day.
I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I specifically remember the first week of October. I think you guys had just come off the I think it was an overtime win against the Cardinals, the first time around you played them. And after that, I was like, I'm telling you, I think the Seahawks have found their guy. Like, I think this is their franchise player. I remember saying it because I wasn't home, so it was kind of a weird week for me. So from there, I was pretty
You're never
confident.
home.
But I think there are 2 people who are very angry right now. One is me. The second one, Justin Jefferson has got to be
Oh my God.
furious.
I was about to say that.
Because I am kicking down that front office door tomorrow saying, get me out of here. Because y'all fucked this shit up and you sent, I was going to say the word up. You sent him off somewhere else. And here we are now. And I've got this kid out of Michigan who can't even stay healthy.
And
Get
they
me up
still
outta here.
finished 9-8. They still finished 9-8.
Unbelievable.
What could the Vikings have been if they'd have kept Sam Darnold? I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad it's ours now.
The old phrase, what's the worst? The devil you know or the devil you don't is more true in Minnesota.
I mean, the fact that we're here just saying Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion, that is Like, do you guys remember when JJ McCarthy got hurt last year and Sam Darnold was named the starter?
That's
And we
right.
were
That's
writing
right.
him off from week 1?
Right. He wasn't even supposed to
We
be
were
the
like, "Oh
starter.
god." We were like, "Jesus, the Vikings with Sam Darnold? Like, Justin Jefferson's gonna wanna trade." And he ripped off 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns or something. But then he had the bad week 18 in the bad wild card game. And then everyone was like, well, nope, Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold. So the fact that here we are now and we're like, oh wow, he won a fucking Super Bowl. Like, that's insane.
Justin Jefferson
I
had
didn't
10 touchdowns last year. This year he had 2.
yeah. Oh,
Crazy. Well, anything else you guys want to mention before we get out of here?
Super Bowl champs. That's all I gotta say.
Congrats to you guys and the Seahawks. And man, next season is going to be exciting because it's wide open.
wide open.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. You guys have a great night.
See you all
Okay.
Wednesday.
Yes, sir. See you
Night.
all on Wednesday.